We don't know where we're going, but the trackers will know where we've been. Hanging on the promises from the headstones we have seen. But I've made up my mind. We ain't hunting skulls this time. Here we go again. Here we go again. Bow, chicka bow, wow. Just another heart piece from Big Goron. Neru's loves 10 skulls charity. But we're gonna hold on to Steep Stone Shadow. 'Cause I know what it means. Hunting on a skullless sea. Here we go, the seed has been sown. Going down the logic's often overthrown. Like that Goron, we were born to roll alone. 'Cause I made up my mind. We ain't hunting skulls this time. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again.
How?
Sorry about that. Welcome everybody.
I don't know how to follow this up. That was outstanding.
I'll have some kind words by our fellow restreamer Void Kingdom from our last race, who's been doing some double duty. And the first race of the day of Rob Dog and Dotso with that 50 skull mirror shield. So I thought I'd treat you all to that.
Is Mike's stream black for you as well?
It is indeed.
I've got it up and running, but yeah, it is not on the restream.
I see MikeKatz running without a problem.
Yeah.
But in case you haven't noticed,
that's concerning. Give me a second, please.
Cannot believe
I see it loud and clear. But if you haven't noticed, 10th Doctor pulling a MikeKatz, getting into the head of his opponent, running in black and white here.
I know you're meant to play to your opponent's like strengths and weaknesses and something, but I don't think stream quality is meant to be one of those weaknesses, right?
I'm looking into it.
I can't believe you actually kept it in black and white. I assumed, like, I saw it on the build-up and I assumed it was going to change before the actual run started, but no, apparently not.
Nothing up from the Kokiri sword, a chest, or from Mido's house so far, if I'm not mistaken.
Goron tunic.
For whatever reason, it's not showing Mike's stream on the restream, which is really concerning.
Okay.
So
we got Choose and Choose and a Goron tunic so far, and that's about it that matters.
Yep, so we will immediately be throwing that logic right out the window. But 10th Doc heading straight out the forest.
Is Mike doing what I think Mike's doing? Have we got the Rob Dog play? The Rush Deku Tree, nothing else matters?
Might just be farming some early money, but it does look like what he's going for.
Was that... The Ingo screen was Navi, wasn't it, on 10th Doctors?
Oh, yeah, I am not having any audio.
Oh, right, I've got 10ths going, so yeah. And yeah, his menu was the Wolfos house.
So yeah, quickly, sorry about that. Kind of messed up beginning. I'm not entirely sure why Mike's stream didn't show up, but now it's showing up, so we only missed like a minute on his side. I'm sorry about that. Now I'm going to bed.
Good night, Tresco.
Right. So yeah, Fortress Way of the Hero. I saw that one. I didn't see what MikeKatz got on the other side of Deku Tree, but
yeah, I missed that one as well.
Barren River.
Zor's River. Barren of Treasure.
Resident Sleeper. Goddamn. So what are your thoughts on this whole Rush Deku Tree meta?
It's not a bad call if you got a stone first, just because you have the increased likelihood of a medallion coming out of there. But yeah, look at that, hover boots. So that goes to the strength of this play. All these checks up, including the basement, are sphere 0 checks.
Never punished. Never punished for it. I'm still kind of taken aback by XthDoctor playing in black and white. Like, I don't know. Oh, MikeKatz getting a shield as well. God damn. That's the real way of the hero. I've become part of the always buy a shield group. And it's terrible.
Oh, look at that. One piece of the puzzle, 40 skulls, is dead.
I didn't see what was in the waterfall, but I'm guessing it was pretty terrible. Oh, no frogs. God, we're losing out on every meme straight away.
Well, we already knew that because the river is dead.
Oh yeah, fair, sure.
Always a shame when you see that. Like, oh, Death Mountain Trail is dead. Well, and then we get a big Goron hit. Yeah, thanks, game. But 10th Doc not going around the perimeter of the lake for those 2 hints. At least not just yet.
Like, the black and white is actually really awkward because I have no idea what... Oh, got the audio, so I guess we can tell from the music the time of day, but yeah. Up until that point, all we knew was it's night.
Yeah, what I'm worried about is getting them confused, because normally I'm thinking it's MikeKatz who's running in black and white. 10th Doc is playing with everyone's heads. It's in our heads, in his own head, in his opponent's head. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like much out of the Deku Tree other than those hover boots so far.
Still got to assume it's worthwhile, but you've got to assume at least one of Deku or Shadow is going to be a medallion. So I guess the early Deku can pay off, but
another issue with running in black and white is reading those hint stones is going to be a little more difficult.
the only explanation I can give for why 10th Doctor is playing in black and white is that MikeKatz used to always play in black and white.
Yes.
So it's...
See, I'm hoping that 10th Doctor contacted MikeKatz and said, "Hey, dude, can I have that old capture card?"
Gotta get all the shipping and everything as well, though. You gotta do it ahead. Like, that's gotta be the ultimate call, right? You do it ahead of, before the bracket. Get the capture card just in time for, like, just in case they come up against each other.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Katz who agreed with Wooden Barrel last season on their race to skip Mito's house. So I know Mike Katz is game for the memes.
Oh right, okay. If that is the case, if 10th wanted them both to do it, and Mike didn't, I find that a weird bit surprising. Oh, okay. That's probably, honestly, getting that this early, the big orange sword there, it's probably just enough to be worth doing all of this anyway.
Yeah,
Are you going to check most? Oh, there's the medallion anyway.
Nice.
Never punished.
Yep, so big Goron sword and the hover boots from that early Deku tree. Meanwhile, 10th Doctor, who's gone the traditional south route, hasn't gotten anything. There's a bottle there from the slingshot minigame. But other than that, it seems to be like the early Deku tree has been the stronger play.
Yeah, that sounds right. In a bottle. Always got to get the skulls. I'm not sure I could do another skull seed after seeing the one earlier. But
No, we ain't doing skulls, bro. You weren't listening to the song. Oh wait, what was that? 50?
I missed a few hints
dead?
there.
I saw 50, Icy Waters.
So Spinning Pot was dead, and I saw Lost Woods was Way of the Hero.
Alrighty. Yeah, there we go. So 50 is not required. Nice try. So yeah, a little good fortune for these runners early on. No skull.
Yeah, 40's already gone as well, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Yeah, and even if there's something on 30, so what? 30's nothing.
30's generally fine. I find 30 okay. 40 is where it really starts to push it.
But 10th Doc going early adult, going over to Kakariko. Let's see if Mike, where he's headed to next after this. Or he's got going on here. Looks like he might be thinking about safe scumming these chews.
You know, I didn't even click that 10th Doctor was in color again until it came up in chat. I did not recognize the fact that he had got color back.
No, I liked it better the original way. Please change it back, Doc. Nothing from the Boulder of Destiny, unfortunately. Oh, and we got some screen happenings going on there. Doctor is in the operation room. What's he doing?
Trying to find where the file is.
Meanwhile, Mike Katz getting those South Hyrule checks that 10th Doc got earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if... I remember seeing Doctor do the Scrub Grotto near Hylia.
Yeah,
Mike Katz
got all
did.
three of
It
those.
was... Okay.
So what Doc did is he saved Scum that Chew from the Boulder of Destiny just because he got that blue. Now he's going back to Kakariko Village. So we got 5 chews, so they gotta be careful on how they spend them.
Yeah, like it does feel. It feels like this could really come down to like Chi usage a lot early on and stuff. Like, I mean, I say that and then I fully expect them to go and like talk to Anju and get a bomb bag, but
Hopefully they have not been traumatized. The meta is you get burned by one thing, one seed, and it plagues you for the next couple seeds.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty familiar. Oh, Jesus, strength. Okay.
Nice.
No, I was going to say, I'm definitely familiar with that one from Skull Mask during the qualifiers.
Yep, there's that one. There's jumping into early Fire Temple.
Bottom of the well.
Yep, well's a good one.
Bottom of the well, where it's only relevant when you don't have everything to full clear it in logic. If you've got everything in logic, you're probably finding nothing. It's what I've learned from the qualifiers, at least.
And Guru teaching us the Bolero of Fire. Might lead us to a little bit of a song chain.
Yeah. Definitely not the worst one, at least.
Well, it'll just mean we'll probably see him stick around adult a little bit longer.
I just probably took in which medallions and stones we got, and I have to say, I think this is probably the nicest set of medallion dungeons you can get. Like, maybe I'm talking a little more personal perspective here, but Jabu is always a nightmare for the number of like things you have to do to get there and how little value there is in the actual dungeon. And Spirit and Shadow are just both so, I guess grindy is the best way to put it. Like, they both feel so slow and you get pretty much nothing for the amount of time you spend there. Even though they're massive numbers of checks, they're so like, I don't know, clunky to do.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with those dungeons are they take a lot of items, right? So Jabu requires 2 items to get in. Shadow requires magic dins, hover boots, and the hook shot in order to complete it.
Yeah.
Spirit requires a bunch of items. So I'm with you in that department. And looking at the stones we got. The only issue is that water temple.
Yeah, like fire can cause problems, but that's more... I think that's more the exception than the rule. Like, really bad luck with where the boss key is.
So here we go, chat. Dampe race number 1 for 10th Doc. What do we got going for guesses on his first time? It's cutting these corners pretty tight, and Dampe has been pretty kind so far. There's the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
I gave him the gift of no skulls this seed, so I think he'll forgive.
I might have missed it, but I think the ledge was heart piece.
Oh yes, I forgot to look at that.
Also, as for no 10, no, that's not what you want to do.
Unfortunate turn of events there.
Everybody... I mean, there was a vote of void out.
Are you sure someone wasn't just calling for the discount Trez? Yikes! So, take 2. Should we add a full minute onto his time here? Yikes. Meanwhile, MikeKatz is in nighttime Market Town, returning Richard the dog.
Oh, just to go back and address something that was in chat as well. As for the fear of all dungeons, like, we still don't know what the Ocarina song is. I'd expect a dip into at least one of Shadow or Spirit is pretty likely at this point. Both. And then Jabu is, like, really unlikely. Unless it's the song, like, you're probably not going to Jabu.
Yeah, no, I'd say it's still much too early to tell. You know, we haven't seen the Ocarina song. We don't have anything to get anywhere into those dungeons other than that strength upgrade.
Yeah.
There's Silver Scale. It's a step towards Jabu Jabu.
Yeah. Bolero and Silver Scale. Do we expect to see something on the Crater Heart?
That is... Or wait, no, I should not talk about previous season in case other people want to watch the VOD. So never mind. But 10th Doc, race number 3.
Oh, was there an... Oh, okay, no.
We got bets going on.
I missed the first castle hint there.
It was a repeat of the Frogs 2.
Okay. London Ranch. That always feels bad.
I mean, it's pretty free.
Yeah, I think that's the issue though, is that you're always going to get it.
Yeah, it's not going to give you any sort of advantage. Whereas
it kind of feels like a wasted hint almost.
Yeah. As opposed to something like Lost Woods Way, the hero, and you find Slingshot really early and you get something good off the target in the woods. That's a different story.
Bonus song is Summer Storm's Way of the Hero, Bottom of the Well. It wouldn't even be Bottom of the Well at that point, it would be like the Kokiri Grotto or something. And just bait them all into the well.
Keep in mind, our restreamer has gone to bed. I think Trezco said we're getting a replacement like an hour in or something. So hopefully they don't go into the well before our Shadow Magi can get here and arm that trap card. Over there on the right-hand side, MikeKatz getting the Song of Time from Impa.
I was going to say, if they go into the well, we need to see what Steve holds. That's the big thing, really.
Oh, yes. We can't forget about Steve.
I wasn't around for the Steve race where that became a thing. But I was around yesterday when everyone was hyping up Steve and then it turned out to be the validation rupee. Scale was Dampe 1.
Yeah, 10th Doc taking that scale along with that strength upgrade. He's gonna clear out what he can of the Dongo's Cavern. Get to see, maybe he wants to use those chews to clear it out.
Oh, that was an Ice Cavern opponent.
Alrighty then. Talon just giving us a piece of heart.
Trez, definitely go to sleep. Come on.
Did Trezco lie to us and not go to sleep after he told us he was going to sleep? I feel hurt and betrayed.
Horseback archery is part of Fortress, yeah. So,
okay.
2 out of 3 of our Way of the Hero Fortress is locked behind Ice Cavern.
Check this out. We got a Serenade of Water from Malin, so that means we have something good at the back there.
Oh, okay. Suddenly London Ranch isn't half as boring as I thought.
Alright, chat, we got just a few seconds while MikeKatz goes around the corral. What do you think's going to be in the back here?
What's the worst case scenario here?
Trez. Worst case scenario is like Slingshot or a wallet.
Sure, yeah.
Yep,
Dog
okay.
finding the lens, yeah. Not as bad anymore. I was going to say fire arrows, and then Din's fire on the wasteland check. Oh, it's a bomb bag.
Ooh, there we go.
Wow. So that was Way of the Hero. So they are not finding any more bombs for a while.
Not necessarily.
Oh, I guess, yeah, 10th could find them in here, and it would be fine. But, yeah.
That's
Way of the Hero
for
bomb
MikeKatz. And already clearing out Deku Tree, he can go immediately into the Lost Woods, another way of the hero.
He's got the rupees to do most of Lost Woods as well. He can do with bombs and 80 rupees there. Oh no, off to buy sticks instead.
Yeah, it does need a few to take out Wolfos and whatnot.
Yeah, fair. Oh, right, okay, but grabbing the other 11 on the way over, so... Still back there. Doc switched back to colour, going adult.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm still hoping, I am hoping he switches back. Black and white when you're back in time, and colour in the future.
Ooh, Gerudo Valley is barren of treasure.
Which they've both done the first couple of checks for.
Yeah, so 2 barren hints, Zora's River, Gerudo Valley. Not a whole lot there in terms of checks. Hey yo, there's our way of the hero. Light arrows from the Deku Scrub. What's going on in chat there?
I think it's a bit of a stretch to be 10th Doctor. That feels like a stretch there.
I think that just means he was the 10th in class. 10 out of 10.
I know there was someone who was saying that the match they wanted to see most in the bracket was MikeKatz versus Rob Dog.
Yeah.
I could definitely get behind that one.
So, 10th Doc on Team Bioshield.
Was it that who was saying it? Okay, I think I saw it in the Discord. So yeah.
Oh, I missed. What was that on Ocarina game?
I did not see it. But nothing being tracked, so I assume not very relevant. Oh, Zora Tunic. Okay. So mildly relevant, but yeah, only mildly. Oh, and a nice trap on that one. Nice.
So both runners making good progress. Not sure what Doc is doing going to the river.
Doc seen the river hint?
He definitely saw the river hint. It was down there in South Hyrule. I guess he has the hovers, so he could get something out of logic.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a hammer in the woods too. So hammer
wow.
And light arrows here in the Lost Woods for MikeKatz. Yeah, 10th Doc might be hoping for something out of logic. Otherwise, it is real confusing why he's going this way. I guess he could go into the Lost Woods from here because he has the scale.
I was going to say back to the forest, but then doesn't have anything he can Mido skip with, so can't check the song check there.
Well, he doesn't need something to Mido skip with. He might be able to do it without hookshot or bow or something like that.
Fair, yeah.
It is possible. But if he does do that, if he does go into the Lost Woods and he uses his chew on that scrub grotto, he could find a hammer, which would open up his adult route even more.
He is checking. No, he's actually checking Zora's River though. So
we'll have to ask him about this. I guess he does get this hint. Oh well, his race to run, not ours. Meanwhile, MikeKatz is making his way through the meadow.
Ooh, Ocarina of Time teaches the minuet.
All right, so we're in our dungeons for that song. Ooh, Zelda's Lullaby in the Sacred Forest Meadow here.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, okay. He apparently did not get that hint. It was one of the Decatree ones for Zora's River.
Yep, so Doc going. Oh, first try. There you go. Take notes. 10th Doctor putting on a clinic. Now, if he uses his chew, I guess he doesn't have enough money.
Oh, I missed a couple of hints there, but I did see that Big Goron crafts an ice trap.
Okay, that's good. Luckily, Doc will give us a second shot at these hints right away. Going for another glitchless jump here.
I love watching this one. Like, the first time I saw this, I was just, like, blown away, and it's still really good to watch when it's done for, like, that.
Yeah, that one, and I love watching the Ice Cavern glitchless jumps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Almost anything in Ice Cavern looks really good to me, just because I'm, like, blown away by how anyone can move properly in Ice Cavern, more than anything.
We got Mike in Goron City, checking out this lonely rolling Goron.
While Doctor getting rupees from the Moblin.
Yeah,
sure.
Puts him a step closer to that hammer.
For Sun Song?
Yeah. Alright, not the best song. But we'll take it. One more hint to check up here. But he's not going for it. Oh, there he is. Alright.
Oh, okay.
Pottery.
Spinning pot copying. Goddamn carpenter.
Did Mike Katz go into the boulder maze? Might not have, because he has that hammer.
I didn't see it. Oh, there's another strength though.
Alright. Well, it does point us to a stone dungeon, unfortunately.
Hmm.
This is no, this isn't game. 10th Doc is using his shoes here in the Lost Woods.
Saved right before getting a hint though, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a reset if this all ends up being worthless. Oh, we know it won't because of that hammer.
Yeah.
So where was Doctor's strength again?
That was Doctor's strength. That was the open grotto here in Cat.
Right, okay. So Mike's gonna have silvers reasonably soon.
Yeah, but we have no way to get over to Spirit or even GTG. We know opponent's Son is locked in the Ice Cavern. You have no hook shots. So unless it's like Requiem there in the crater, it'll be a little bit before we have access over that way. But Doc up to 40 rupees, grabbing his hammer, while Mike Katz is hunting down some cuckoos. Is Kuiper in chat here?
Guys, I like early cuckoos now. I think the thing with cuckoos is, like, it's one of those things that you've got to do either right away, like you have to do it really early, or never. Like, if you're 2.5, 3 hours in and you're checking cuckoos, you've made a mistake.
So what I'm hearing is this is the start of an epic rivalry. Team Kuiper versus Team Yoshi.
Why? What did Kuiper say? I missed this.
Kuiper refuses to acknowledge that the cuckoos exist.
I used to always skip cuckoos, and then got punished by it twice. So now I'm like,
hey.
Yep, there's the silvers.
There's the silvers, and we have also been joined by Shadow Magi. taken over so Trezco can go to sleep.
Yeah, talking of being burned by cuckoos 2 races in a row, here's the person to blame for that. Not salty, not mad, honest.
We got the hype room here in Goron City. 3 checks and a hint stone.
I missed all of the Kuiper Cuckoo hate, but yeah. I always used to say never check chickens, and then yeah, 2 races in a row got burned by it, so I'm like, oh! Okay, we got step 1. And a bow?
Goron's playing with magic and the bow.
So yeah, Boulder Maze is pretty loaded right now. That is...
So this is the kind of seed where if you had open castle, you just want to come straight to Goron City and Lost Woods. MikeKatz might be headed to adult. Farm up some
always got
rupees
to,
here.
right?
Yes, eventually you have to grow up.
Not quite what I meant.
This isn't Neverland. You don't stay a child forever. You can't Michael Jackson it. Eventually you gotta pick up that Master Sword to slay the pig.
Get color back.
Ooh, so look at that second Ocarina of Time hit. All the way by Medigoron. So given that the Zor's River is barren, it might be a while before MikeKatz chases that down. So that's some valuable information XthDoc has.
Oh. Yeah, I had not even considered that the first one was in the river, wasn't it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's those out-of-the-way hint stones like the perimeter of Lake Hylia or the couple in the unique grottos that can really troll and throw you off. Meanwhile, MikeKatz looks like he found something useful on Bomb Tree Bowling too.
Apparently another quiver? Oh, slingshot. Really?
Slingshot.
Okay. Sure.
Slingshot from the bowling game. Oh man, it would be so much easier.
And a hook shot.
All right. We got 30 minutes is the hype minute.
Like, it's the same thing with every seed, right? You get this section early on where you're like, oh, this feels really good. This is amazing. And then 2 hours later, when you're looking for one last item, that's the point where you start to give up on everything.
I hope you just knocked on some wood there. Here I go through all this trouble, you know, putting a spell on the seed so they don't have to do skulls. And now you just want to load it up with some bad juju. Icy Waters, Piece of Heart. Already got that in. MikeKatz grabbing his Keaton mask.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this. Mike's gonna get magic, a bow, a hook shot. Definitely gonna be close to go mode. That's ridiculous.
Oh wow, that's funny.
So I will just reiterate the point that we know Gerudo Fortress is Way of the Hero and Epona's is in Ice Cavern. So there is a 2/3 chance that they have to get Ruto's letter.
Yep. Always a possibility. There might be a workaround. You never know.
We've only seen 2 strengths so far. They've both got the Death Mountain Trail one. And Mido Skip is not in Logic. I'm pretty sure that one can't be added. It was being added in 5.0, but isn't available for this one.
Correct.
This has to be one of the friendliest seeds I've seen in a while. Oh no, Doctor just trying to get the bombs. No bomb bag.
Yeah, he's not following his way, the hero hint.
Has he even seen that one? I think that was one of the ones in... I think it was one of the ones on the way to the castle. And he's not gone and got Zelda's Lullaby check yet.
This is Mike's first time in adult CAC, so he's going to be here for a while. He will show us the archery mini game, though. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, like chat bringing up the fairies on in and around Death Mountain as well. Like that's absolutely huge.
Yeah, and having ZL early is always a good thing.
The flip side to that, of course, being that Doc's the first one to finish DC here. That's another song. Got to give the advantage to MikeKatz right now. Apparently the black and white strat didn't pay off, you know, not worked out so far. Doctor nearly picked up those ice arrows. Very nearly.
Maybe he just wants to kill Bongo Bongo the proper way.
I'm still terrified. I'm like, every time I stop to think about like the logic and the way of the hero hints and everything, I'm terrified by the first one. Like, knowing Gerudo Fortress. Last time I did commentary, I got loads of stick for the way I pronounce things. But anyways, I'm gonna still say Gerudo. Gerudo Fortress, where the hero with 2/3 checks requiring opponent is that's rough.
Yeah, no, I always pronounce it Gerudo too. So I don't know what people are talking about.
Hey, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Finally, I got like, to be fair, there are some that I know I pronounce like terribly. I do not say GIF. No, it's definitely a GIF. It's not Deku or that one annoys me more than any. To be fair, games pronunciations.
Yeah, my pet peeve is Kokori or other interesting pronunciations of that. Oh, and so there's 30 dead.
Oh, is that a 30 hint? Oh,
in the graveyard. So my song worked.
But we did get a Song of Storms there, so that well is gonna have nothing like usual.
Yeah, Shadow, do you have the trap card ready?
I do not have that control, sorry.
Maybe our restreaming team can get you a hold of that trap card.
Well, no, the problem is that it's not running from my computer. This is still Trez's computer. Fun, fancy stuff going on here.
So, are you poking around his personal files and tax return?
Do they even have to file tax returns themselves in Germany?
That's a good question.
I assume so.
I mean, there are a lot of newer progressive countries that your company handles your tax return.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Seems to me.
yeah. I've heard this once upon a time. Hey, we got Mike Katz. Oh, he is not voting out.
47. That's Jesus.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Is 47 the best you can get without long shot? I seem to remember hearing that you can get. I think it's 47. 47 without a long shot and 46 with, because you can get up to the torch, was it? Or is it the other way? Or is it 46, 45? I remember hearing the long shot was.
Yeah, I think it's, I thought it was 46 and 45.
Oh, okay.
Could be mistaken. But looks like 10th Doctor is headed into the Forest Temple. Looking to grab that light medallion.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, he can actually make quite a bit of progress on his medallions. He can clear Forest and Fire Temple out.
This Mike 46 immediately gets hit by fire. Always the way, right? We did that with 10th Doctor earlier. Oh no, Doc!
Clean race. Oh, did he get knocked down?
It just fell off, pulled out the hook shot, was falling.
Oh, Mike Katz missing that door. Thankfully, he has the Song of Time, so actually might have routed this in purposely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be intentional.
Yeah,
Hasn't done the storms check yet, I don't think.
Yeah, considering he hasn't got the song, most likely on purpose. It's a very efficient way to route this out.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. That Bolero there on the storms check was the first song that they've both got.
Yeah, I was just noting the fact that we're almost we're 46 minutes in. And we have almost all the songs. We're missing Saria's song and Requiem, and our final two checks are Burning Cack and Desert Song.
Shadow, I'm bad with the phonetic pronunciations. I don't know what a GH is meant to sound like. Sorry. Oh, sorry, it's probably meant to be Gerudo, but I'm still going to say Gerudo because it's like almost natural at this point. Oh yeah, MikeKatz gets a little bit of an advantage here as well.
Yeah, 10th Doc double dipped Dodongo's Cavern.
Yeah, like I remember seeing him doing these early checks with strength, not with the hammer, so tiny bit of a time save, I guess.
And Mike's play to do a lot of early child seems to have paid off. He's got the spirit or the shadow medallion. He's got a good collection of items under his belt.
Oh, butter knife.
Butter knife, where? In Forest Temple?
Yeah, the bubble room in between the outside areas had the butter knife. Which means absolutely nothing now, but you know. Oh, and Ruto's letter. Okay, that one's actually.
Yeah. Hello there. Here's the lens for Mike. Now, don't get crazy about talking about Stone Jablu. We do know Epona's song is in the Ice Cavern. And might have to go. And we know that Gerudo Fortress is Way of the Hero.
Which is huge. Like, that's gotta be the play after this, right?
Yeah, you got at least a 66% chance that a Gerudo Fortress requires Epona.
Wait. Am I seeing correctly? This could be one of the fabled ZL seeds?
Unlike
could be,
Water
but...
Temple?
Yeah, water makes that tight. In terms of logic...
Spirit, Shadow, and Jabu out of it is what's the big thing.
Yeah.
In terms of logic, water keys mean that it almost certainly will be ZL required.
I mean, that's not going to be a problem.
But in terms of actual play...
I mean, I'm just more looking at how Doc doesn't have it yet. So, but based on what I'm seeing, it's not a huge hurt.
Epona's in Ice Cavern. That is a big one as well, though. Yeah, we don't actually have Ice Cavern Way of the Hero, but we have Fortress Way of the Hero, and 2 of the 3 checks there need Epona's, which is in Ice Cavern. So it's a very slim chance that ZL wouldn't be required.
I mean, they do have the hover boots, so I think that hover trick into domain without ZL is in logic. But yeah, we're just a handful of items away from go mode.
Well, that's the point. Where were the hovers? Because Doc hasn't found them. They were in Deku Tree. They were the start
Deku Tree, yep.
Yeah.
Lobby of Deku. He'll make his way over there eventually. Ooh, and I missed Doc finding Pharaoh's Wind. Making immediate use of it.
Good to see MikeKatz in colour, we say. And so for those who missed the start of this race, 10th Doctor started off in black and white and only went into colour when he went adult. So we're waiting for him to go back to child to see if he stays in colour. I'm actually really disappointed that MikeKatz didn't go black and white when he went adult.
I'm disappointed that 10th Doctor went back to color. I think we should deduct some points.
Yeah, you started in black and white and cancelled it. We're going to give you a 5-minute deduction? It's like...
Just 5 minutes. That's not...
Ooh. Doc doing a little dance there to, I guess either celebrate or rage at that bomb bag. That's interesting, because Lon Lon Ranch was Way of the Hero first. So we know...
Yeah, he didn't need to go to Lon Lon Ranch.
Yeah.
But it was
does that tell us anything about the...
Nah, it was that bomb bag was most certainly the first logical one. Because the rest of the Lon Lon was like a piece of heart and serenade.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying about the Lon Lon Ranch one. I'm saying the fact that it Way of the means the other bomb bags had to be locked behind the first one. which means the hook shot and the bow that we've got were both bomb locked, right? But that also means the other hook shot has to be bomb locked, which I guess most things are at this point, but...
Yeah, maybe. It might be like somewhere out in GTG or the Spirit Temple. But yeah, the hook shot was in the Crater Grotto, and the hammer was in a grotto. There's Song of Storms for Mike.
Chat bringing up that Forest Temple is also massively out of logic right now.
Yep. Although we do have fairly easy access to not the Burning Cat cutscene. That could be Saria's song.
Yes.
50.
The song in London Ranch was Serenade, which, yeah, the bomb bag was 100% Way of the Hero. It's the only thing there. It's just the implications that has on everything else. But, like, given the amount of stuff that's been found by having those bombs, I don't think it actually tells us anything, right?
This is a curious play from MikeKatz. He doesn't have hook shot. I don't think he grabbed the bean. Yet he is here at the lake grabbing his scarecrow son. And he's also already...
to fire.
Oh, okay. Yep, he can...
But no hook shot.
He doesn't need hook shot.
There's no point grabbing the scarecrows if you don't have hook shot.
Oh, yeah, doy. I mean, unless he's thinking that it's here. It is actually in the crater. It's pretty close.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a massive reward.
That's really fun.
Sure, pays off, I guess.
His hook shot sense should be tingling. Ooh, there's the bow there.
Okay. Can't remember where Doc got his bow now, but it certainly wasn't that one.
I think it was the breakable... No, that was a strength upgrade. Yeah, it was out there somewhere. Oh, it was in the rock maze of the Goron.
Oh, Magic... Yeah, Magic and Bow were both in the Boulder Maze, weren't they?
Doc getting his ZL checks here. Just Stone of Agony. Nothing but agony now on. Have we gotten a hit for Big Goron?
Big Goron was nothing. Or specifically, I think Big Goron was a nice trap, so...
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, Stone used to... Oh, Doc turning into a pancake there. But I'm right there with Rob Dog. I miss the Stone of Agony's power. You know, as soon as you get it, it just opens like 38 checks that you can do to get information.
It used to be really good, and now everyone's just like, I've got Stone of Agony again. People reacting to the Stone of Agony the same way we were reacting to Kiri Sword.
Yeah, or Nehru's Love. Hey, but there's the hook shot there for Mike. I'm hoping for a 5.0 that the Nehru's Love gets random colors, like the tunics and sword trails. So then we might actually see it getting used.
That would be amazing, actually.
Yeah, you can also do that with the Pharaoh's Wind warp point. That'd be pretty cool. If there's any devs listening. So nothing from the Summit Fairy. And not a whole lot in the Forest Temple.
Yeah. As Mike's going around back to Goron City. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna check the Storm's Grotto up here.
Yeah, and then he can check the Boulder Maze as well on the way out. End up with magic and another bow.
Yeah, but after this, he should scoot himself into the Fire Temple. The 10th Doc is just about finished up with Forest.
Jeez, I've just noticed the health difference between these two. Like, Mike's at 9 hearts, so he should be good to just blitz through the Fire Temple. Doc's only at 5. So if it comes to Fire Temple... Oh, okay. Yeah, they did get tunics, didn't they?
Yep.
That was less interesting then.
Yeah, especially since we don't really have access to Spirit Temple, and probably won't have to be fighting the Iron Knuckles anytime soon. Probably won't be a concern.
Yeah, so for people just joining, yeah, Mike's almost certainly ahead at this point, but Doc picks up Ruto's letter in Forest Temple, which we know that Ice Cavern has opponents from a hint, and we know that the Gerudo Fortress is Way of the Hero. Given that we haven't got a long shot yet, probably looking towards that anyway.
Yeah, my cat's getting that Ocarina time, man, so he knows we're not going to be needing that blue Ocarina. It's only 5 skulls for 10th Doc. About an hour in.
Nothing on the skull hints. Do I have the same accent as Monstrous? I mean... I tend to, like... British accents are really massively different in different places, and I tend to think I've just got, like, a generic kind of English. Anyways. Yeah, like... The fact that Doctor's done Forest is a big deal. I won't, you know, not like trying to trivialize that, but I think Mike's early child route so far has definitely paid off. Like, it's not a massive lead, but I do think he's in the lead.
Yeah, he's got that Goron sword. He only dipped Dongo's Cavern once. Yeah, Mike Katz is in the driver's seat. Can't count 10th Doctor out. Medical school is challenging.
Interesting though. Where is going off to Forest before Fire?
Yeah, not a terrible call because he has Bolero and he doesn't have Minuet.
Yeah. Interesting knowing that Fire gives the other song check as well though.
Yep, that is true. Phantom Ganon with the pack of Bomb Chew. And 10th Doc will most certainly head to Fire Temple after this. Might be a check or two he needs to clean up first, though. Nope, warping straight there.
Seems fine, yeah. I guess the biggest thing here would be, like, the biggest difference between the two of them right here would be if, actually, I guess they can jump to Volvadia. I was going to say it required, like, about the hovers in logic, but, I don't think that matters so much at this point. And not having those hovers from Deku Tree isn't going to hurt that much. And then I guess Scarecrow, that would be the biggest thing. Mike has Scarecrow song.
Yeah, it could cut a few minutes into 10th Doc's time, but having both Serenade and Bolero and Pharaoh's Wind wouldn't really set him back too far.
Yeah, fair.
Assuming he remembers he has all those things.
Doesn't have Serenade. He's not even done the ZL check, let alone.
Of course, yeah.
Owners, yeah.
He went straight adult after going South Hyrule and two very different strategies.
This is a really tight race, like no matter what. I was about to say, like, when watching races like this, I always love players like XthDoctor who are so expressive in the way they play. Like, there's so many little things, like the little dance earlier upon finding the bomb bag and stuff like that. Like, that's always the part that intrigues me with like stuff like this, is where you can see the players who have their unique styles as well.
Yep, but don't judge a racer by his early route. Judge them by how they pass their time of day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I forget what race I was watching, but someone pulled out the boomerang and was just throwing it at the fence in Hyrule Castle. Very creative. Or what? They weren't even throwing it; they were just like rolling into the fence. It was an entertaining scene to watch.
I think Doc's seen the fortress hint, but not the. No, he has seen. No, he has seen the opponent one, right? Yeah, he's seen both of them, I think.
Yeah, he should have by now.
Yeah, that was it. He's not seen the London Branch one yet. But part of the concern there is that that's kind of a bait at this point.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see when he goes back child. We'll have to do it eventually, most likely. Eventually, most likely. Maybe.
Like, that's the thing. The problem is, he will see that London Branch hint. If way to Hyrule Castle. It was one of those two, so
yeah. You might
got to assume he'll go back child. Got to assume he'll go back child, go to ZL, and then go back to do Deku. And it's like you skipping one song is fine, but I think skipping 3 is pushing it a bit. And as soon as you see Hero song, go there and then feel pretty bad. Our Baron hints were Zora's River and Valley. So, not a whole lot of information at this point.
Yeah, you just don't want to get those 2 Gerudo hints mixed up. One's Way of the Hero, one's Baron.
No, both of them went through the valley first, so it's basically a glorified way of saying that the Hammer Rocks are dead.
There's Pharaoh's win for Mike.
We are still missing a Way of the Hero as well. The further Dot gets into this, the more and more I'm worried for him about that Scarecrow song. London Fortress and Lost Wood are the 3 Way of the Heroes we've seen so far.
Yeah, Mike.
And then yeah. Huh?
Mike made the recoil into the Floor Master room really well. He's playing really well so far.
I know, like, the standard thing is that execution matters far less than routing does for the average seed, but it's really nice to see a seed like this where both of them are playing really well in terms of execution, that it's almost entirely routing at this point, I think. Pose we know nothing about.
Yep, we do know they're locked behind that letter. Or we are still missing a bottle. I guess there could be a
well, no,
Doc
Doc just got it. Doc just got the fourth one there, yeah, so... And it was a big Poe.
So yeah, that's in logic.
Can't imagine it'll be much. Like, oh, well, you know what I mean. I can't imagine it'll be any more than any other individual check. It's, I guess we've already got the letter. We know we need to... I guess we don't need Ice Cavern necessarily for opponents, but Fortress has something. The key items they're missing at this point are what? Long shot. Is that it?
Yeah, we could use either a scale or iron boots and
irons as well. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Getting really worried for Doc here.
Nah, he'll be fine. He has Pharaoh's Wind. Worst case scenario.
Let's see if he set the wind point before leaving the Scarecrow room. But yeah. And boss key's got to come up soon. Doctor doesn't have Serenade yet. Serenade was on Epona's song, and he has done 0 child song checks.
Yeah, it actually might be the thing that pushes him back to child.
Oh no, Shadow, I just missed it. If you did set the wind point, then that's fine. Serenade Wave the hero. I like that idea. So the thing is, with Thor's Wind, I guess he wouldn't lose that much time if it's on the Scarecrow chest. The concern would then be... He doesn't lose much time overall, but he is still checking everything in fire. Where Mike will presumably get the boss key and be gone.
Yeah, I mean, another concern is that he'll be doing things like Lon Lon Ranch, which really aren't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll grab ZL, which will open a whole lot of checks for him to make. That Mike's already done and hasn't really paid off. I don't think any of the Fairy Fountains have given Mike anything so far.
Like, it's really difficult. Like I was saying earlier, I thought Mike was ahead, and I think there were a few kind of contrasting opinions back and forth chat. And I think, like, right now it's easy to say, like, they're pretty much neck and neck, like they're fairly close to each other. But I think the big catch point is that Doc has so much time he can still lose, whereas Mike has. Oh, never mind. There is Doc being rewarded.
Possibly, but he should still go check the highest score on. Still one more key.
Yeah, looks like it.
So if this is a key, the Pierre has a random item, so he might have to come back here anyway.
Yeah. And if this is an item, there's still a chance of being punished. Slingshot.
But at least he'll come out of here. Oh, okay. So he'll come out of here knowing the Scarecrow isn't anything. More importantly, he'll come out of here with a medallion.
Well, unless Volvagia has the key. There's one key left, and she might be holding that one hostage.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that. Scarecrow chest isn't a required hint, but it is in the pool of one of the other random hints. Guaranteed to find the 30, 40, 50, Big Goron, Frogs 2, and the Ocarina of Time hints. And then we're also guaranteed to find 4 hints in a pool of things like Big Pose and whatnot. Actually, I'm not even sure Big Pose is in there anymore.
Yeah, I think Big Pose were only in after a certain number of them. I think there were like certain kind of benchmarks for like being included in the extra hints and then being included in required hints or something. 3, okay.
So, let's see. I know we've seen a hint for Goron Pottery and the Icy Water.
Yeah, we've had, so the 3 bonus hints we've had are the Spinning Pot, the Icy Water, Ice Cavern having a bonus song.
Oh, that's right, okay. So
And we are still missing our 4th one. Yeah.
Rob Dog with the dev info. If the pose are set to 3, you get a hint. Otherwise, it's not required because it's pretty easy check set to just 1. Let's see how 10th Doctor handles Volvagia. Going through the second.
Demon okay
box.
so far, yeah. Smooth fight. Really smooth.
Go. Without the big Goron sword as well. So really, we're just looking for our water care package.
Yeah, I think the Navi sound is the Poe on Doc's. Doc has some interesting sounds.
Fun fact about the Poe sound is the sound of, I think it's Ganon or Ganondorf, sped up like 20 times or something like.
I didn't know that, but now that you've mentioned it, I can hear. I didn't actually know that. Damn. Oh.
I forget
Dragon
where
had
I
a
learned
key.
that fact.
Dragon had a key for Doc, so there is something on the Scarecrow. Same as I said for Big Pose earlier, I imagine it's, just as likely as any other check really, but gotta hope for Doc's sake that it's not relevant.
Yep, he is gonna use that big Poe though. Knowing full well it could be completely in logic to grab that out of the fire temple and show it to this guy here.
No, just a piece of heart.
Aw, dang.
I'm gonna quickly dip out for a second. My throat is burning right now, so I'm gonna grab a drink. So I'll
Not a problem.
back in a sec.
So Mike out of the Forest Temple, headed straight to the Temple of Time. XthDoctor grabbing Saria's song from Burning Cack, which means Requiem is vanilla. Well, that's unfortunate. But it does put all that Forest Temple into logic. Yes, they are most certainly running the same seed. You can not sell the big pose to the kid in Kakariko or the market. You will not buy them. Well, both our runners now back child. Fortunately, XthDoctor is going to be sticking around here a little longer than he'd like to, I'm guessing. Armin, that Lens of Truth, is going to do some chess minigame.
Hola, hola.
Welcome back. You missed our runners headed back in time.
Docs in color.
Yeah, unfortunately. But he's going to do some chess minigame. He's going to do some cheating. Return Richard here. While MikeKatz, also returning child. Looks like he's going to return Rudo's letter. As well as clean up a few checks he's got around here. You also missed Saria's song from the Burning Cat cutscene, so we know Requiem is one.
Oh, right. Ooh. Wait, which? Oh, never mind. Yeah, between them, I guess we got everything. Never mind.
Yep.
Trackers want the condom on our trackable items, apparently. I know there was talk of the ice trap counter, but
maybe that should be a sub goal here on ZSR. Ice Trap Mayhem.
oh my god, I didn't know what the next sub goal was, and I've just seen it, and that is incredible.
Yes, that was determined on our last race just a few hours ago.
That is amazing.
The theme of that race, in case you haven't seen it, is chickens. So if that doesn't pique your curiosity, you know, I'm here to tell you, if you haven't seen it, you should most certainly watch the VOD as soon as this race is over.
Oh my god.
Well, we got MikeKatz here in the fountain. I'm guessing he will jump into Jabu Jabu for just a split second to set Pharaoh's win. Oh, and finding our fourth Way of the Hero hint, Death Mountain Crater on the Way of the Hero.
Which had one of our strengths.
Did it have our strength? I know it had our hook shot.
There was a strength in the sides, the bumble wall.
It was a crater, not trail.
Oh, crater. Ignore me. Yeah.
Yep. No, easily confused. Not a problem.
Devil May Cry, not Devil May Try.
So, 10th Doctor in the Hyrule Castle, 80 minutes in, gonna grab his summoner from
This has to be the latest ZL I've seen in pretty probably ever.
Yep. I'm guessing if he had some more adult checks to do, he wouldn't be here, though. Like, if he had gotten Requiem from Burning Cack, I'm guessing he would be in the Spirit Temple right now, or at least in the desert.
I just thought Doc's just picked up that long way of the hero hint as well.
Yeah, no question. He's headed there after this.
That's gonna feel bad.
I mean, it could push him as he goes back adult.
Mike, yeah, Mike went to do the torch run during the diving minigame, started making his way down the stairs and hadn't lit it. So suddenly had to backtrack and just do the diving game normally.
It's a shame that you can't do flame storage jumping off the water.
Like, that whole torch run during the diving game, I feel like the risk of that is not worth the payoff. And maybe better players than me can point out the like real strength to that play, but
yeah, I was just thinking, like a runner like Juke, his execution is really good. He almost always makes that strat. Also, you know, if you have Din's Fire and Magic, it's really free.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's flame storage is an interesting trick. I'm not exactly sure how it works still. Something like you got 11 seconds for a flame timer.
Yeah, I know the thing with flame storage that I remember was that it needs to still be loaded, which always is the issue with. I remember trying to learn the point where it unloads the torches in the Composer Grave.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting quirk to it. There's Serenade of Water for 10th Doc. Looks like MikeKatz. Where's he headed? Maybe he's gonna grab these hint stones out in the river.
Oh, that could be quite big, actually. Mike's not seen the time hint, I don't think, right?
He did. He actually used his hammer to...
oh, he did check Medallion. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he is checking hints and grabbing some Skulltulas here.
Definitely needs to see Doc's reaction incoming. Are we on like loads of spins? Are we on attacking the...
Yeah, I'm thinking we might get some barbecue going on. I'm hungry.
Nope, never mind. Rolled in, saw it, straight out.
Barbecue?
Never mind.
Oh, that's disappointing, Doc. First, you take away our black and white meme. Now you don't blow up the cows? Hashtag kill the animals.
I'd assume it was a time thing about no time to waste, like slashing around aimlessly and whatever and raging. But it happened earlier.
Might be feeling
he did do it earlier when he found his first bomb back. I guess, yeah, he probably feels a little more behind seeing that now. Oh, Dampe digging on Mike's side. Yeah, nope.
So, does Mike have 10 skulls? He should by now.
If he doesn't, this Kakariko easily gives him 10, right?
Oh, yeah.
12, yeah.
Sure. Alright. I was actually thinking, you know, by 90 minutes in, you could have 20 covered by now.
Well, there's a point. Hovers being in the Deku Tree is fine, right? Like, not really needed them yet. He did the jump towards Volvagia, and that was fine. But we were saying earlier about Fortress. I guess the hovers, getting these hovers now before going to the Fortress for that Way of the Hero is actually, given that he, I'm pretty sure Doc still doesn't have Scarecrows.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point. Although, my guess is he'd probably head down to the lake before going to the fortress.
Yeah, I guess.
But again, that would also mean that we found the long shot or dug out Ice Cavern.
Yeah, I think I'm assuming Ice Cavern after this. Well, talking of which, we'll see what Mike does now. Going adult again. I guess the obvious choice would be fire first.
Yeah, I can't imagine he'd do anything else besides Fire Temple here. Certainly didn't jump into the well.
So, yeah, knowing that the boss key is on the top chest in fire, and Doc still has to open up with Russo's letter, but I think that does probably put Doc very slightly ahead.
I don't know about ahead, but it's, you know, in my opinion, it's still very much neck and neck. Doc can easily clear out the Deku tree and, you know, show King Zora the letter by the time MikeKatz finishes up Fire Temple. But
Curious as to where Mike's going.
Yeah, he's done the maze.
He is going to Ice Cavern. He's just rushing Ice Cavern.
Huh, that's interesting. He's playing off that Way of the Hero hint.
Yeah.
I guess in his mind the long shot or iron boots are over there.
He did set up a wind point in fire, I guess.
Did he, or was that 10th Doctor?
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think MikeKatz.
Yeah, Mike's not even been in fire, has he? No, you're right.
Only way we don't need to go into Ice Cavern is if the long shot is somewhere accessible, like Hylia or the bottom of the well. Otherwise, because we know Requiem is vanilla, we know we need to either find the long shot or grab the bonus on it. Light arrows were in the Lost Woods, along with the hammer.
Yeah, I think the biggest strength of the Ice Cavern play is specifically, it's not Epona's to get to Fortress, it's the fact that 2 out of the 3 checks there need Epona. I think that's the biggest strength of this.
Yeah, no, there's a whole handful of reasons why this is a good play. And it's actually probably a little higher than 66% just because we either need Epona or the long shot to get over to the fortress.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess from
there's-
Mike's perspective, I mean, I don't know how many songs could have been on Burning Cack at this point, because obviously he doesn't know that it's not Requiem. But every extra song that could be there that isn't Requiem is just lowering those, or I guess increasing those odds that Epona is important.
And I actually think Mike probably does know it's either Saria or Requiem. He's probably got it down to a 50-50.
Oh yeah, actually, he's seen the hints for...
Yeah, he's seen the hit for Minuet.
Yeah, and Epona's, and those are the only two other than Saria's and Requiem, yeah.
But 10th Doc picking up his big Goron sword. Really only be able to use that on Morpha.
Ganondorf?
And Ganondorf, yeah. There you go. And possibly the Gerudo guards.
Sure, yeah.
Ooh, Doc checking out Skull Kid. Also haven't seen the fabled Skull Mask. Doc about to pick up his light arrows too.
Oh yeah, those were here, weren't they?
Trials are turned off for these flag sets.
We are not going to need them today because, well, just grab those lights.
Yes,
Hookshot is, yeah, way of the hero because water is one of our medallions.
Water and forest, yeah. Yeah, no, you can definitely still have something on Skull Mask.
Gold gauntlets in Ice Cavern.
So that's one possibility. We know that we're not going to find Iron Boots or a long shot in Ganon's castle.
So, yeah, we know that Fire's boss key was at the very top. So, Mike still has a lot of catching up to do when it comes to Fire.
Yeah, Mike has to complete Fire. It's still pretty close. So I don't know if 10th Doc digs GTG or not. Still needs 2 items technically.
I just had a thought. Where was Song of Time? Was that...
That was from Impa.
So in Forest, the Floor Master room had a bomb bag.
Yes, sir.
Now we know our first hookshot was bomb locked, right?
Yep.
Does that mean the second one then has to be either bomb or hookshot locked? Because the bombs in Lon Lon Ranch were Way of the Hero.
That could have also been pointing to Dodongo's Cavern, which was our forest medallion. So it was really difficult to say. You don't want to play too much into like Way of the Hero, other than like kind of clearing out those areas. Which is why I think wouldn't be a terrible play to do that Skull Mask, considering.
No, it was the songs for Forest anyway, yeah. All I was thinking, yeah, as it stands, Forest was locked by something, like, Forest was 100% locked by bombs. Yeah, if it's the songs, perfect sense.
Yeah, well, Forest was actually also blocked by Dodongo's Cavern and Fire Temple, too.
Yeah, either way it was, and Minuet was Ocarina of Time, so yeah, we're miles away from that. Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, in the end, it'll always make sense. Or we've discovered a brand new bug, which the devs get to panic over.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of, like, have we got any kind of, other than the Fortress Way of the Hero, is there any sign as to where our other hookshot is? But
the well is looking pretty tasty.
Mike jumping down and then having to go back up to that blue fire there.
Yeah, so we got Song of Storms in the Temple of Time, Zelda's Lullaby from the Sacred Forest Meadow. So that bomb bag could have been pointing us down into the well as well.
Oh jeez. No, yep. Never.
Don't count out Steve, man.
I still think the absolute highlight of the well being a trap all of the time was there was one race during the qualifiers where Spike was on the restream, and he went into well without ZL and without lens or magic, and just went down there anyway, and found the mirror shield that opened up his spirit temple, and suddenly was just so far ahead of everyone else on the restream. Like, the one time that the well is so far out of the logic, it pays off.
It's in logic as soon as you get Song of Storms.
Yeah, now, well, yes, but I mean, half of it is.
What was that in the Tektite Grotto?
Actually see it. Mike looked at it a little too quickly for me.
Yeah. Thought. Okay, nuts.
No.
Alright. Thought it kind of looked like the Iron Boots, which would have been awesome.
Iron Boots in the Tektite Grotto would have been harsh.
Yes. Tektite Grotto or in the lab are the best spot for the Iron Boot.
Icy Water was Piece of Heart. It was a hint earlier. I know it's dead. I wrote it down. If it's not relevant, I just know.
Something garbage.
Fortress is Way of the Hero. I think Doc is
playing off that.
Yeah, like Doc is currently just following in Mike's footsteps, but does have a full fire temple ahead of him.
Yep, definitely can't discount that. He's also set for his wind up here in case he needs to jump into Jabba Jabba later. But the question is, if the fortress is going to have something for us. If we still need something after the fortress, do we go into GTG or do we cross the desert and jump into Spirit Temple? Because those hover boots were Sphere 0, that's what I'm thinking.
I think I prefer GTG still, but... non-shuffled items will not be considered Way of the Hero, so you can't have your membership card, your magic beans, anything like that. Zelda's letter.
Yep, strictly progression items. Items that are required to beat dungeon.
And there's a mirror shield.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It was on the rooftop chest, so that ice cavern play actually not quite as important as it seemed. Well, yet. I guess we could still get long shot on horseback archery, but we'll see.
And so with the mirror shield, if archery is nothing, you definitely go.
You've got to go spirit. You've got to just rush spirit at that point. Yeah.
Ooh, 10th Doctor is paying our Goron leader a visit. No, he's not. Never mind.
I can't tell if I love or hate chat's worst case scenarios during these races. I know I'm normally responsible. I'm in chat, so I guess I can't comment too much. But I would love to see both Mirror Shield and Boomerang now in Fortress. And like, which one do you got to go Spirit first, right? Just so many more checks. So many more.
Definitely.
Also, Mike's horseback archery. Okay, I'm speaking as somebody who plays mostly on emulator, so horseback archery is an absolute nightmare. But that is unbelievable watching someone do that still. Just perfectly both times. And oh no, it's just that mirror shield.
Yeah, Mike getting 1800 both times.
Nice.
Meanwhile, 10th Doctor back in the crater.
Was this intentionally opening GTG, or was he just hot past? No, he's going in.
He is.
Ooh. I'm not sure I like this.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it pays off for him or not.
I mean, like, I was going to say not when... I guess he doesn't know that Requiem is vanilla. He doesn't know that. But he does know that Burning Cack and Requiem have to be Saria's and Requiem. And he can get both with the items he's got. So... I'm surprised at this one.
Yeah, definitely after getting that mirror shield, I agree with you.
Yeah. Like, it would be easy enough for him to just come back here having... And if he doesn't get Requiem at the Wasteland, then he can Bolero, do fire, get it on Burning Cack, and then come back. Rutos was in the Forest Temple, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like how you can't cast Pharaoh's Wind in here. Like, I understand you might not want to cheat the Gerudos out of their hard-earned fee, trying out their training ground, but it's really inconvenient. Like, I imagine if he could cast it in here, Mike would, you know, jump in here, cast Pharaoh's Wind, and then head over across the desert, check out Spirit Temple. If that's nothing, then immediately warp back.
Ted's just
on through.
pulled out an ocarina and then decided against it.
As long as he's not equipping it to one of his C buttons.
Just curious what he's decided to do instead, but I guess just running to Goron City to go to Ice Cavern.
Looks like he's got a few checks to clean up in the area.
There's a fair point about GTG. Like, this, it feels like a really risky play coming here, and I think when you know that Spirit has to have something, the obvious play, like the normal, I guess, safe play, would be to go to Spirit. And skip GTG for now and come back here later by reverse waste landing. Boomerang! That's not what you want to see.
All hail, Lord Banana.
But I guess the concern was... Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, more importantly than just like something in Spirit, we know it's Mirror Shield required, and there's only like a handful of checks in there.
Right, yeah. Like, it's what, 3? So... The thing I was going to say, I guess the difference is if he thinks he's behind. If he thinks he's behind, then coming into GTG is the kind of risky play that could win him the game.
Oh, there's dens. So there's our all dungeons.
This isn't looking promising. This is not looking good.
Well, again, we know we don't need it for the sun. Worst case scenario, there's something on all 3 of our boss hearts, right? And I guess
there's not even enough items left, yeah.
So, unless they, like, choose wrong, you know, they could choose Shadow and Spirit and, oh, no, there's something in Jabu Jabu.
Yeah, Jabu has the irons on Baronade.
If you can do a medallion dungeon, you should. If you can make progress in any kind of medallion dungeon, you should definitely do that. GTG, on the other hand...
Yeah, that really surprises me, because Mike has opted not to go to a known way of the hero in Spirit and a medallion in Fire.
Yeah, no, Sorry is pretty within logic from Dodongo's Cavern and Fire Temple.
Yeah, first bomb bag.
Bomb bag was in Long
Ranch.
Silo. The hammer was in a grotto in Lost Woods. So that right there is our Sarius summon.
Well, and strength for Fire. But that was bomb locked on Death Mountain Trail if nothing else. And Open Grotto anyway.
So MikeKatz finishing up the circuit here. 5 keys going into the BMOS room.
Mike being beaten up by some lizards at the moment. We don't know anything about the toilet yet.
Yeah, only 6 keys. There's another 3 in here. Hopefully he only gets 2 in the left side of the maze. Either way, we'll be able to full clear the maze. Pizza Hut.
Definitely gonna have to ask Mike about this one later, because skipping Fire is one thing, like, I can understand it, I don't... just about. I don't think I agree with it, but I can understand the logic there. Like, or I can understand the kind of mindset behind that one. But when you get away with a hero item and just doing this first baffles me a little bit. I guess.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that Ferror's win thing.
The biggest thing I can think, like, the biggest thing I can think of is that he's just taking the risk. He's just gone.
The toilet.
Toilet was an item, or
no. Toilet is a small key there. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, like, the only thing I can think is that he thinks he's behind and is taking a gamble. He's just going for the,
Yeah, it's possible.
Like,
the seed has been pretty nice so far.
Thinks he's behind, taking a gamble in the hopes that, like, he finds something there and assumes Doc won't go into GTG. That is the only real thing I can think of there.
Yeah, but here's another point I just realized. He hasn't even jumped into Fire Temple. So he just full cleared GTG without clearing out his Medallion dungeon.
Skipping the gate opening. Can't say I think that's worth it, but sure.
I mean, he could have a strat of, saying, it doesn't matter who my opponent is, I should play like I'm racing against ATZ. So he might just be like, I'm just going to be making the craziest plays I can.
Like, I definitely think there is some strength to that, right? Like, there's a kind of fine balance between playing cautiously when you think you're ahead and playing risky when you... Not just when you think you're behind, but when you think your opponent is kind of better at execution. And, like, taking those risks to try and get those kind of big leads. But I don't know, I can't see that in... Like, I can see that in the sense of, like, going for Jabu over Shadow, for example. I can't see that when it's known progression. Ooh, Din's Dream is dead. Or at least this one is. Skulls have been a whole lot of nothing so far.
Yeah, in case you missed the beginning of the stream, I blessed the runners with not having to hunt down Skulltula.
And blessed us with your beautiful voice.
You got Void Kingdom to thank. Discount Trez 2.0. I do have to apologize for that last note. I kind of blew out my voice practicing the minutes before. If you're unfamiliar with the original song, the David Coverdale, there's quite an impressive scream there. I was unable to replicate. 10th Doctor out of the ice cavern with his horse song. Hopefully opponent isn't too cold.
Mike's off to see his Requiem at least.
Oh, that just gave me an idea. Imagine if you had to race Ingo around the ice cavern. Or if you get it in the crater, you have to race around the boulder maze in the fire temple.
Ended up on doing a multi-world the other day, and it got completely kind of clogged up. Like, everyone has done everything. One person finds one item, and then suddenly someone else. I got into the habit. Like, firstly, I got a cow in, and then secondly, ended up at 100 skulls because I decided to go and get skulls when there was nothing available. Yeah. That Lon race is way harder than I remembered.
Yeah, you don't cut and go off, they'll take advantage.
So the best time yesterday, for the Hell Seed, for the Plando, yeah. Just under 5.5 hours.
That was a pretty awesome seed.
What is... Mike, is that
the hook shot?
It was either that or a bundle of arrows, and I couldn't tell which.
So that is not required by the mirror shoot.
Right. Which means the irons... He's trying to take a... Yeah. Trying to take another look. That was...
How many ice traps have we seen?
I haven't been counting ice traps.
Not many. We got a few hints. We got like 3 ice trap hints. But I don't think we've actually seen one.
Well, I'm sure we've seen at least one somewhere. But 10th Doctor is out here in Ganon's castle checking this gold gauntlet block. But if that is indeed the long shot out on the arch, this seed is all but solved.
Yep. Yeah, I can't help but agree with chat there. Like, it does seem like at this point it's if Doc rushes Fortress, rushes Spirit at this point, that's it. Like, that's gotta be it.
Possibly. I don't know where Doc would be going other than GTG/Fortress. But MikeKatz has a pretty solid lead on him and just needs to clear out the Fire Temple.
Like, it's not even like there's another item it could be in here. You know, it's not like if they were still missing the boomerang, for example, they can find the boomerang in Spirit and then have to go over to Jabu and do all of that. But I mean, Mirror Shield was on the rooftop chest in the Fortress. So that was our Way of the Hero Fortress hint. We know for a fact there is something here in Spirit.
That is an evil horse.
Not as evil as the one Phantom Ganon's, right?
I hadn't really noticed it, I just kind of blended in somehow. Now that you've pointed it out, I'm not unhearing it.
So while we're waiting for this writing, so we have some nice sub goals. Right, guys?
Oh boy.
I thought we reached the awesome sub goal hint, you know?
Which one's the awesome one?
The, like, 5 randomizer one.
Yeah, that was last night. But now we have the cooking simulator one-on-one between Trez and Discount Trez.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. That's going to get covered within the week's end. This is tournament season.
Ooh, apparently Colossus Arch looks like arrows.
Feels bad, man. But
Like,
as
it can be
used...
really tough. Oh god, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, as Used Pizza would say, you can never trust chat on what they say an item looks like. Freestanding models are not easy to see with the 64's graphics limitations.
No, like, that's the thing. I know I've mixed up hook shots and arrows before. Like, we looked at that several times because Mike was looking at that several times. So
yeah. Much harder when they just take a peek at it.
Yeah.
Then we're left wondering, oh, what was that? I don't know.
If he
Looked
goes
like a
out
Decker
with
shield.
like if he goes out looking for the boss key, goes out to the hands, then that would make it way easier for us. But
Oh, here
half
we go.
expect a boss key to appear just before that because that would be the hardest one for us.
Yeah, but 10th
You
Doctor
do know the
about to
boss
pick up
key
his
already
mirror.
just showed up, right?
Oh, did it? Bugger, I missed that one.
Did I miss it? Was I seeing things, or did I just see a boss key?
No, chat agrees with
saved me
you.
on this.
Chat agrees with you.
Yeah, we saw it. Getting distracted by the shiny mirror shield over on 10th Doctor's side.
Collecting magic from the invisible floor master on Mike's side there.
So 10th Doc, hopefully putting the pieces together. Gonna do some archery, and then hopefully head straight to Spirit Temple.
Yeah. Right. I was a little confused when he got back off Epona there, and I was like, is he just skipping the archery, or... okay.
He needs the daytime.
Yeah. Oh, Mike didn't have enough magic to light all the torches here.
Uh-oh. Does he have a blue potion? Or a green potion?
We're a Poe to gamble with?
Now, what he could do after defeating the Iron Knuckle and checking the Colossus hand, he could jump down into the grotto with the silver gauntlets and purchase a potion.
Wait, what? Where?
There is a gray rock you can lift up with the silver gauntlets just outside the warp pad of the Spirit Temple, where there is a bunch of Deku Scrubs, some of which will sell you potions.
I had no idea that was there. I've
People
never done
go in
Scrub
there-
Sanity.
People go in there for other than Scrub Sanity? What?
If you make a big dumb and you need some magic in the Spirit Temple.
I'm normally just save reset and get the pops at the start.
Oh, there you go, Rob Dog.
Oh,
alternate.
never mind, Mike.
Ask and ye shall receive. You could just hope that you get double magic in the chest you need. But he does not opt to light the torches.
Why is Mike doing all of this?
He's looking for that item.
But these aren't mirror locked.
He
I
might
guess mirror is a key. Yeah, and then
I mean, he
Spirit
could also
key
just
logic.
be looking
That was the item
at
right
a
there.
better.
Clearly.
Yeah, he's looking for a better vantage point on the archway. Now he knows what that is.
The run has been validated.
And the archway item has been validated as well.
And after our long argument of long shot versus arrows, it turned out it was a stick.
Oh, I'm hearing some sand swirling out there.
Yes, 10th Doc did not go into GTG, headed into the wasteland.
I love it. I love it.
What?
Chat, I definitely said stick.
I'm gonna have to stick with him and say he said stick.
It's a stick named Richard.
The dog is named Richard.
Exactly. That's why we have to call the stick Dick for short.
God.
Yeah, not sure if that's a bundle of sticks named Dick or if it's a single stick named Dick. We will have to wait and check the spoiler log.
I don't think this is a joke we really want to go down, but you know that sticks. The comments are.
I mean, it is a trap if you're going down into the well.
It's in Twitch chat. It's forever now. Rob Dog pointing out that Mike is almost key locked out of Spirit Temple here.
Ooh.
At least logically he is. But Doc here in the desert.
Definitely some bold plays to make here. Like, I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it would be the right play, but I would love to see one of them set up a Thrower's Point and then go to Child Spirit, ever fighting Twin Road. Assuming, of course, this invisible chest is nothing.
It's nothing.
So I missed the other mirror check earlier. Was that a key?
It was either a small key or something of no value. So it has to be on Twin Rova's boss art.
Well,
also, I think has
yeah.
2 small keys in Child Spirit.
I guess none of this matters anymore anyway, because it's the chest and spirit on Child side aren't locked, so it's got to be Twin Rover at this point, right?
Yeah, they're not blocked by Mirror Shield.
I was more thinking if Mirror Shield blocked a small key, but yeah, the only two are.
Yeah. We don't need a fire source. We can get Vanilla Requiem and come back here as a child to grab all those checks.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping this is the long shot, and then we still have a hunt for either the Iron Boots or the long shot. It's, so it's still anybody's game. And of course, Mike,
yeah, the gold scale
Mike still
strats
has to get the boss key in the fire tank.
Right,
What
Mike
if
still has to
this-
do all of that.
Now,
Yeah.
hear me out. What if Twin Rover gives the gold scale?
It cannot be Way of the Hero, I'm pretty.
Yeah, no,
Lab
we've
diving?
seen. I think we've seen. No, we haven't. Of course, we haven't. We haven't got Iron Boot. Ignore me. Diving in the lab for gold scale for. Oh no. Yeah, that's always an option. Yeah, we've seen a Texite Grotto, which was a whole lot of nothing.
We've not seen the bottom of the lab. I guess that could hold the hook shot. looks like 10th Doctor is making up some pretty good time here. Not jumping into GTG.
This is the chat I know and love, coming up with the worst case scenarios. Yeah, we do unfortunately know the toilet's key, so it's not quite possible, unfortunately.
Here we go, Twin Rova down. And our first
yeah, there we go.
There's the long shot. All right. So, hunting down either scale or iron boots.
If it's
Hopefully,
if it's either Shadow or Jabu, then Mike. I was gonna say Mike has a big lead, but to be fair, I imagine that Doc, after finishing this and getting the long shot, probably does GTG. That's got to be one of your top options at that point, right?
not really sure. I'm still thinking the well looks pretty good. We got that pretty early on, and there wasn't really anything in the Song of Storms checks outside that.
I'm only ever going to refer to the long shot as a stick.
Stick named Dick.
No. Iron boots are in the logic for Water Temple. It is possible with a gold scale, but with a bit of luck.
Does Mike know he needs to go in the Fire Temple?
He has it marked on his own tracker. He does have it marked on his personal tracker. I don't understand why he's not gone there.
Yeah, it's reassuring at least that he's got it marked.
Have we seen Darunia's Joy yet?
We have not. 10th Doctor was in there with both the songs, but he came in there and just warped out before making that check.
Yeah, it's really Mike's play is really confusing me here because especially you get the long shot on Twin Rover. You know there's one item there is one item you're missing, and you've got a whole dungeon to do, a medallion dungeon to do.
He's also taken all this time to check these two hints on the perimeter of the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, my theory is that he's playing if it was fire, then Doc would have won all. Would be my thought of what he's thinking.
Yeah,
I guess
fire isn't barren.
I mean, even with... I don't know if that would be the case, though, with the required ice cavern into Fortress into Spirit,
So, here's the thing. Wouldn't it be great if the iron boots are on the Scarecrow chest in Fire Temple?
I mean, that depends on who you want to win, I guess. As far as I know, Doc still has his Floras up there in Fire, so...
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
I guess Mike can check it on the way through, but Doc can just gamble, do that one check.
Wow, Mike's not even checking if it's double D.
That was a recovery heart, not a heart container.
What was that? I thought it was a heart container.
Oh, was it? Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry. Whoopsie.
I mean, more importantly, I was thinking when you're at 14 hearts, I'm not sure how relevant that is.
He's also MikeKatz. He's got 9 lives.
Actually, that's the point. Bringing up the pixel shot in chat. Doc's had that Forest Wind point set there for a while, and well, I was about to get his long shot, so yeah, always a valid option. And I guess he's got, like, even if he doesn't want to do that, he's got the Serenade. He can go back and check it pretty easily.
Finally, MikeKatz making the Fire Temple. So hopefully he goes into Pierre. We know he's going to have to go all the way up to the Megaton Hammer check.
I've got to assume you go to Pierre before you go to the Hammer.
Yeah. Especially because, you know, he was just doing the Scarecrow stuff.
I'm mildly disappointed that I didn't make it. I can't put the deep fire meme.
Oh man.
Any chance you can open betting for chat, so we can bet on where the Iron Boot?
That I can do.
Good shout. Oh no! Now I need to think of where I think. Wow, the instant first 3 bets are Jabu, the Well, and Shadow. The 3. Oh no, just getting worse and worse. Never mind.
Yeah, no, chat clearly hasn't been paying attention. It's definitely in.
You know, we've had Richard today. Now we need Steve.
Shadow Magi and Cola beat me. Red Rush, Steve is the invisible chest in the Dead Hand room.
Yeah, I think I missed that one, but from what I gather, the whole point of it was that there was someone asked, "What's it called?" It's like the invisible Dead Hand chest. Like, what do you mean? What is it called?
It was an unsatisfactory answer.
All right, Steve now.
So geez, he's doing a power crouch stab for it, so that and then it has to be close enough for it to trigger. It works really well if you store Master Sword damage on your hammer, because then all you have to do is power crouch stab everything.
Yeah, until I started watching Rando, I actually had no idea you could. I always like casually. I always use the hook shot to pull the head out. Had no idea you could just use the hammer to drop it.
Well, because in the vanilla game, you don't get the hammer until after you fight both of those.
Well, no, that one's locked behind the hammer. Blocks in front, but.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Like, you've already fought one with the hook shot, so you just instinctively go to that again, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's also what the official strategy guide says. Doesn't say anything about power crouch.
So I'm going to leave the betting also open until we are about to get a new check, which will be a while.
I need to make a bet.
Yeah,
I don't know where I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think our newest check is going to be Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre's definitely the next
one. Long.
Do we know bottom of the well at all? No, we don't. Okay. Let's do that.
Yep. Bottom of the well, Shadow Temple, and Jabu Jabu are probably the biggest, have the most checks.
Yeah, this is both of them basically kind of losing the time that they had made up, I guess, like covering each other's tracks, so... After this, we're going to be, firstly, able to get a real grasp of who's ahead, and secondly, seeing a load of new checks. A lot of kind of new things happening.
Yeah, here it is. What's faster, XthDoctor in GTG or MikeKatz going in Deep Fire?
I have to wonder if we're gonna have the tracker curse from Bleeding Blue's guess of 20 skulls.
How have none of them done? Oh, I had not realized. I guess they've got the skulls, but they haven't turned them in?
Yeah, probably.
Do either of them actually have the full 20?
The number of dungeons they've gone to, I mean, I can't say I've actually been focused every time they got skulls, but the number of dungeons they've got to at least be close. So our Way of the Hero locations were Gerudo Fortress, Lost Woods, Lon Lon Ranch, and Death Mountain Crater. Crater had Hookshot and Bow. Lon Lon Ranch had a bomb bag. Lost Woods had the light arrows and a hammer, and a shield.
We've seen all of Child Goron. Actually, we've seen all of Goron City minus Daruni's stand.
Yeah.
Just want to remind everybody, this is not a Shadow Seed, even with the boss key on the Hammerjack. This is a Trez Seed.
I mean, we do have all the items necessary for Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
Might be a Shadow Seed.
Oh.
I might have to mute you if you keep up with that one there.
Might have to change your name to Bongo Bongo.
Longshot was from Twin Rover, yeah. So the Mirror Shield Way of the Hero is for that. And they are just looking for the Iron Boots, or potentially a Gold Scale, depending on a bit of luck. I assume if either of them find the Gold Scale here, they just take that risk.
Yeah, no, for sure. Iron Boots are what you want to see, because it guarantees you can full clear Water Temple. But you'll take Gold Scale without hesitation.
Did Duck ever turn in that Poe?
I think he did, yeah.
I think it was just Pizza Hut. A day early for Pizza Friday, but...
I think we've seen Ganon's Ferry. I think Doc...
Yes, we saw Ganon's Ferry.
Turn-based Dave, it is anyone's guess at this point. We are looking for one item.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say we'll have a much better idea of who's ahead. They finish these areas, because they're basically both doing something the other one has done.
I would say there's neither really ahead of the other, and we won't know until one finishes their current location, and whichever one finishes first is likely the one I would say is ahead.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how I'd see it. I guess we could try and guess who's going to finish first of it, but Doc's being beaten up by likes, so predictions like that are never safe.
I gotta
now,
get the edge.
If Pierre's irons though, it's 90% like I think Mike's ahead.
Yeah, I completely agree. Also, yeah, nobody has been into the well yet. The well and Shadow Temple and Jabu are kind of our big locations that nobody's checked. I say Jabu is a big location, but you know, comparatively.
Just a reminder, there is betting open. I'm about to close it once he's getting to that door to get into Pierre's room.
So the one thing I think that would save Doc's kind of chances, if it's something on Pierre, is that his next play after this, there's a reasonable chance it's Shadow, in which case he'll want his Furoras back, and probably goes to check Pierre before he does that.
Maybe.
All right, we do have a new check coming up, so there is no more betting.
Drum roll, please.
Nope. That is Mike's 15th heart.
Wah, 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 wah.
Does Mike Katz have a child for yours rin set yet?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Whereas Doc has child in Jabu and adult in Fire. So Doc is definitely winning on the Flora's wind front, but that's about it.
Wind front.
What?
I'm sorry, August. You're in a timeout now.
Oh, jeez. Let's see, just gone how I think.
Okay. Timeout's done.
Yeah, this seed has gone how I think most seeds do, where you get like a bunch of items in the early to mid game, and you're like, oh. One item at the end trips you up, and suddenly 2 hours later, I just want to end this. I want to be done with this.
I mean, so what's worse? A late game dig for your final go mode item, or an early bottleneck?
I mean, that depends. The early bottleneck from a runner's point of view, I would say, though, can be arguably better for them in that then it's more of a linear seed and you just get it and then it's just down. It's just from there. You're...
Yeah, I think the early bottleneck is easier to play, but it means that it's so heavily execution based.
And look at this, Doc out of the training ground.
With a room and a boss fight ahead. Or a room, a boss, and a mini boss, I guess. Getting about a little flare dancer in here.
Oh, but this check in the wasteland is probably going to get close to balancing it out.
Yeah, that's another little bit of time lost.
So where do they go from here?
I mean, as much as I hate to say it, because it's always terrible, but well.
Yeah, that's what I said a while ago. We got that Song of Storms from Temple of Time.
I think we've seen both Storm's Grottos, right?
Yep.
And they weren't
And
relevant.
Frogs was dead.
Yeah. I know Zora's River is gone, so...
Yeah, no way the hero's pointing us that way.
Yeah, nothing that says that Storms is needed, but... I mean, it is wide open. And a lot of checks in a short amount of time.
Looking at the checks we have available, a lot of them are in Child. There's the Well, there's Jabu, there's Darunia. I also don't think we've seen the Fairy Fountain behind the cat. And also a couple checks in Child Side Spirit. There's the boss key for Mike Katz.
You can, forest from the well, right?
Yep.
So I think, yeah, going through the well and then winding to Jabu.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
Could be really big. Suddenly realised he didn't have Nocturne and has to walk to Kakariko.
Might be going for that fairy fountain or the skull mask.
Or skull
Chimp
mask.
and Reeve.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Actually, we've not seen that, have we?
Yep, and
Nope,
Lost
there have been
Woods.
plenty of bets on
Way
it.
of the hero.
Lost Woods was Way of the Hero. Yeah, we've seen 2 items there, so it's not. Oh, never mind. That is.
I will say
Not a
this would
skull
not be the first time we have seen 3 items in a single Way of the Hero hand,
Oh no. Hmm.
if it happens.
But no, if he's gone straight past that mask shop, I'm assuming it's bottom of the well and then off to Jabu. Nocturne was on the Sunsong grave, I think.
Yep.
Oh yeah, actually, I can see that and the Ocarina are the only ones that Doc hasn't checked. So. Also, I need to get out of the habit of saying Sunsong. Composer grave, Redead grave.
The Royal Tomb.
So we did see Dampe digging earlier, I think. Oh, that was Doc's 19th skull as well, so he's going to be checking 20 here.
I mean, he shouldn't have to. I blessed them with a no skull till the seed.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they heard that and didn't go to skulls. Oh no, blessing worked.
Yeah, the song
for better or
worked.
worse.
I'm starting to feel glad I missed the beginning if there was a sending blessing there.
I
think you need to check the vibe.
would say that I recommend going back to check it, but go back, check the start, and then just lower the volume towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to check the VOD for Doc.
No, Mike is not doing Shadow. He is checking the Royal Tomb.
Oh, he didn't like the torches earlier. Fair.
Yeah, he came in as an adult. Didn't have a fire sword. Yes, Oksani, irons or gold scale.
I don't want to know what seedy things that Redead is doing.
God damn it! And you timed out.
Yeah,
and you timed out
exactly.
August for this, yeah.
And Tresco is asleep, so he can't come in and throw down the band.
Shooting gallery. We've seen this one, right? Pretty sure this was a whole lot of nothing. So after all of the discussion of them finishing their current dungeon and going off to do new checks, we're seeing a whole lot of checks that we've already seen.
I mean, at this point, it's literally a who makes the right choice.
Yeah, this is absolutely. I mean, we said most of the way through, you know, it's been really close. This person's slightly ahead. This person's slightly ahead. Now we've got to the point where it's just completely neck and neck. It is literally just who finds it first. Can't be on frogs, unfortunately. We know Zora's barren treasure.
Now, what would be really exciting is if one of them finds irons, the other one finds the gold scale, and we have a race to the boss.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I feel like the gold scale one would have to be slightly ahead. But take a little more time in water as a result.
All depends on where that boss key is. we have check Skull Kid. We have everything in the Lost Woods done except for the Skull Mask.
Yeah, and skulls
Oh, no,
are...
Doc.
Oh no, Doc. I said this earlier and I'm going to say it again. If you are 2.5 or 3 hours in, I feel like chickens is never the right play. It's something you do at the start, or you just gamble on ignoring. Late chickens is like my least favorite thing.
Yep, Kuiper is gonna have some strong words for 10th Doctor here.
Have we seen chickens, though?
We have, yeah.
Mike
did it, I think,
pretty
about
early on.
40 minutes in.
Yeah, Mike had a very long child one. So Doc now is guessing that he missed something early on here.
Mike is doing checks that Doc has done. It is worth noting,
Yep.
yeah. We saw the shooting gallery, we've seen Big Pose, and now we're seeing Ganon's Ferry. Doc has done every single one of those.
I would say positioning-wise, Doc is better off at the moment in that he has 2 dungeons without having to do an age change, where Mike has 1. Without knowing where they are. I mean, if they're in Shadow, then it's probably Mike if he stays adult.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Plus, I think Shadow is one of those, like, Shadow is an awful place to go for checks, because there are a lot of them, but they're so spread out, and you're going to get so many keys in between, that kind of thing. Whereas Bottom of the Well
getting a
is...
Skull Mask check here soon, too.
Oh, Doc's doing the long child plan now. I guess he did a really short child earlier. Look too far away. I do think Doc will do the well here. I will say that now. I think he's going to do chickens and then go from there up to the windmill. But I think he's just covering his bases here a little bit.
Yeah, it would be bad news bears to clear the well out and then do chickens to find something good. Or like your final go mode item.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Lost Woods was Way of the Hero. But there have already been 2 items there, so... It's not really something you go desperately out your way to do, but... I can,
As far as
Not
Meteor Rush,
quite
he
yet.
does, and that if it is in Jabu, or it is in basically if it's not in Bottom of the Well, that would give Doc an advantage.
Not in Shadow.
No, because they're both children now. The expectation is now they're both going to do child dungeons. But presumably, Mike will go Bottom of the Well as well.
Sure, yeah. I think Doc getting there first will give him the... Oh, Lens Game. We've not seen this one yet, have we? Oh, no, we did.
We have.
No, never mind, yeah.
But remember, if it's not in the Bottom of the Well, Doc can, for his win, right to Jabu.
Right, I think Doc is just creeping ahead here because, firstly, he's the first one to be checking new things. And secondly, if Mike goes into the well after this and finds nothing, he's falling further behind getting to his next checks. I think Mike absolutely needs it to be in Shadow at this point.
I mean, I think that only holds, though, if Mike goes Shadow before doing the child dungeon.
I could see him doing the well and then going Shadow. I could see that working out. And basically using the time that if Doc goes to Jabu, Mike can use that time to, like, get ahead in Shadow, basically.
Y'all are forgetting, Shadow Magi was unable to set his trap card, so there's gotta be something here in the...
Now the question becomes, is it if it's gold scale, then what happens?
Then our race is on. And I personally hope it's in Steve.
Skull Mask? Mike! Making a play here.
Oh!
There it is.
There we are.
Alright, 10th Doctor in Gomo.
No trap card.
We do not have a single winner in the subs.
Ooh.
We had a
I thought we saw some bets for the bottom of the.
but those are all others. No subs did it.
Are only subs eligible for bet?
No, there's two separate bet winners.
Yeah.
There's the non-bet winner, which Aisler was the first one to put to the generic bottom of the well. Because nobody had anything specific about bombable thingy. Because the only other ones were Steve and the Deadhead.
I think you get a deduction in points if you just put generic.
No, it just means somebody who puts more specific will preempt your choice, even if they were the last selection and you were the first.
I didn't know there were rules to this game.
I mean, it is all interpreted by the person restreaming, but that is the rules that most of us tend.
I just guess Dead Hand because it would be probably the most annoying one in the world to check.
I hope people didn't get confused thinking that Dead Hand is named Steve.
No. The subs, I'm pretty sure all know who Steve is, and we have 3 Steve bids when you include yours and mine.
I still think Steve has the gold scale.
Ooh.
I mean, once they're done, we will be able to see.
I also want to know if Dick is a bundle of sticks or single.
Need a spoiler log for that one.
And Mike Katz checking out the skull mask.
We don't call a man Steve. Steve is a treasure chest. There's the invisible chest in the room with the dead hand. That's Steve.
Yes, 'cause
As for the why, I can't tell you. I don't know if there is an answer.
The only part of the why I can tell you is it's related to the fact that we have Bob's chest in Ganon's tower in Link to the Past.
So I think that was during the Spike Vegeta and who's Spike Racing? Oh, curses. Nobody? Who was Spike Racing? Someone help.
It was, no, that joke came up during a qualifier match, actually.
What, Steve?
Yes.
I thought that was a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
It must have been the last qualifier, maybe? I could have sworn it was with Spike and... Ah, curse.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Spike was racing someone, I promise. Hologram. There we go. That was it.
Irons were in the bottom of the well. Specifically the bombable one, I think it was.
Yep, the
Or one
back
of them.
left bomb spot.
Rear bombable chest is what Emo's tracker by Ham's plugin says. Which is how most people know with the chests.
So Skull Mask, nothing. Darunia, nothing. Looks like Mike Katz is getting the Spidey sense.
Yeah, might just be a little bit too little too late here. Still could have some boss key shenanigans, but don't see it making this much of a difference.
How many cola incidents on the stone would it have taken to get Mike Katz to catch up time? I mean, cola's rock there.
Oh no.
There are two great things about the clip with the boomerang in the ham, both the Ham's response, and then the fact that Cola, I didn't even know this until Cola pointed it out, that he failed that. I think it was 5 times. He failed that hover move.
Oh.
In that same clip.
In a way, I hope I am never good enough at this that I start getting things named after me. Like, is that a good sign or is that a bad sign? Is that a sign that you've made it? Or that you'll never live this down?
I mean, have you forgot already the epic rivalry between Kuiper and Yoshi? Team Cuckoo versus Team No Cuckoo?
Hey, to clarify, I'm only on Team Cooker if it's early. If you're over a 2-hour mark, never do it.
Well, no. What about the Super Cuckos?
Oh, that one's fine. That's, yeah. Although, if you're there at like 2 hours, then I'm questioning what's happened.
So we still haven't seen a boss key yet.
We have not.
No.
River chest, anyone?
But Mike is, taking a bit of a detour here.
Yeah, slightly different path.
It's just giving Doc a bit more of a lead. Everything he does that is not that bombable chest.
Oh, here we go, though.
But my cats could come into the water temple and make the big brain play straight for the boss. And both our runners are reading their watches that say go mode.
Just creeping towards that 3-hour mark.
Yep, unfortunately not gonna sub 3 hour this seed.
I was gonna say, like, there's the, got the, you know, sub 3 hour thing, except now it's what? All seeds are sub 530, thanks to Bronies. And that awful seed from yesterday.
Yeah, Plando. Plando, you're lucky to get sub 530.
Oh, Shellblades make no fucking sense. That's kind of become a running joke now. So, in one of the qualifiers, I don't know who it was, I cannot remember who said it, but somebody put that as their comment after finishing a race, immediately after 3 mods had said, do not put potential spoilers in your comments. And it's just, for some reason, that's just become a thing for me now, is Shellblades make no fucking sense, because they don't. They really don't. But also, yeah. Well, as you asked, oh, okay, fair enough. I just remember the comment, and I love it.
Yeah, if you're efficient on your checks and you have good movement, you know, it's really difficult to make a seed go too long, especially with like some of these tournament settings.
Yeah.
But I've seen some pretty awful like skull sanities or key sanities, and it's surprising how quickly like some of the top tier runners can beat them out.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing. I think the more things you add in like that, the more kind of discrepancies you get, I guess, between the top and kind of, I don't want to say lower, but you know what I mean, like less experienced, I guess. Best way
Less
to put
practiced.
it. Yeah, like the top runners show that they're the top runners for a reason in those kinds of seeds, because the kind of routing in all of the different checks becomes so much harder when you have more checks, and sometimes it's unbelievable to watch.
So this is what we're supposed to talk about, how we're going to Ganon's castle and there's 22 chests and right? I think this Steve thing is making me confused.
XthDoctor excised Morpha.
Yeah.
Should be finishing up right about now, considering there's a 10-minute delay.
And the boss key in the end was the central pillar, right?
I believe so.
Didn't waste any time on Dark Link, I don't think.
No, definitely did not see those checks. Cola, you unfortunately would be mistaken.
I was going to say, we are, yeah, still 10 minutes in the past here. And travel forward in time soon. Damn.
Well, I mean, he is the 10th Doctor.
Is that the 10th Doctor Who?
Traveling only 10 minutes is a pretty bad use of that power.
Have you ever seen Galaxy Quest?
I haven't.
Oh man, sometimes just 60 seconds is all the time you need to fix one bad mistake. Why, I think it was MikeKatz here in season 1 of the Zooter tournament. The match came down to a mere 16 seconds.
Was that the one where it basically came down to which direction somebody turned for the light arrows in Ganon's cap?
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure the specifics on it, but 16 seconds is just one mistake anywhere in your route. If you had to do a second throw at the Goron pottery, or a couple attempts at Mido skip, 16 seconds is nothing.
Accessible tournament, yeah, refers to the rule set. If someone wants to, I don't actually know the command in chat, but if somebody put that would be amazing.
Fine, make me do the work.
But yeah, the general gist of things is nothing so harsh that it should be open to new players. And so some minor kind of tricks and glitches are allowed, but nothing that's going to massively skew things over someone who doesn't use them.
Yep, well, it is definitely not encouraged to try your very first rando in a race setting, especially if you've never streamed before. But the accessible rule set is meant for anyone of any caliber to be able to pick up the game and be able to beat the seed eventually. Might take you like 18 hours if you've never played Zooter or even the vanilla game, but eventually, without knowing any kind of tricks, you should be able to beat it.
And we definitely had some people in the qualifiers that dedicated it. Credit to the people who stuck around for that long. There was...
Are you talking about my last place finish?
No, there was one person who did over 12 hours.
Mine was 10 something.
Okay, there was a 12 plus, which was credit where due. That is impressive determination.
And that's more points than a .4.
That's why it's last place. It's better than last place. And if anybody was reading the chat earlier, this is the position named after a person that Lost was mentioning.
Nice
fight, yeah.
Fight, even though he did not arm his big Goron. So actually, I don't think.
I think he jump slashed with it and then changed.
Ah, okay. Big brain play.
Or at least I only saw 5 hits, which I'm pretty sure is big Gorons.
I was worried there for a second he wasn't going to get the jump slash in with how close he was getting.
Here we go, just under 3 hours in.
that every key?
Almost. I think there's one on more. Here we go. Get your GGs ready in chat. We're about to get a tasty serving of bacon here.
There's definitely still a fair chance that even after this, like, yeah, Mike can put in a hell of a showing in the loot kit. No kind of tear he went on last season was impressive. Like, I mentioned earlier, actually, the last tournament was pretty much where I got into Rando, and one of the first things I remember seeing was Mike just tearing up the bracket. Like,
yeah, last season was a very, very fun one, but it's not going to be the last one. There we go. We got bacon.
yeah.
What was that about? Not sub 3?
Oh!
Well,
I guess the timers are,
Yeah, the timer's off on Restream.
yeah.
I think you deal back to their 26-second delay.
Something like that. I think I
good
noticed
game.
that. So you can just barely beat Ganon from about 6 minutes once you land in on Prelude with Bigger on Sword. So like I saw the timer. Yeah, no, it's off.
Apparently.
But yeah, that was nice.
Good game, sir.
Congrats.
I'll
Got
let you
it.
guys ask the questions first, but I have a couple of my own.
Yeah, well, so I gotta say, I'm rather disappointed that the black and white disappeared after, just a few minutes.
The people were asking me. I said I had something up my sleeve, like meme-wise, yesterday or so. This is just what I had in mind, and people kept just thinking, "Oh, it's black and white, black." Well, yeah, I had to add it back in.
There was some talk in chat of the idea because you removed it when you went adult for the first time, and people were talking about you putting it back when you went back to child.
Did I only do child twice?
Yeah, I think so.
No, sorry, 3 times.
3, I think, yeah.
So was it actually Mike Katz's old capture card that you purchased?
No, nah, you can just like in OBS turn off like the saturation, color saturation.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like one button just to turn it off and back on.
Nice. So what was your thinking in that early play to Zora's River? Just item hunting or not?
Minuet.
Minuet. Okay.
Literally just Minuet. Because I had the scale, I knew I could go up the river, get what might be helpful checks, and then just go straight to the song.
Right, and you hadn't seen the hint by that point, right?
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of hints, what was the other way of the hero? I got Fortress, Lost Woods, and Death Mountain Crater. I missed the other one.
Oh, wow, okay.
Lamon Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I found Lon Lon too. Never mind.
Okay.
I forgot to
Because
write.
we were going to say, you had that bomb bag out of Logic from Forest.
Which I realized as soon as I saw the bomb bag in Lon Lon.
Right, and then as soon as you see London Ranch with Hero, I mean, when we first saw it, we were talking about all the songs it could be, and then Serenade showed up.
Yep.
So,
Wait, did Mike Katz put that off? Because I did. The Lon Lon Way of the Hero was like right before I went to Lon Lon Ranch.
no, yeah, Mike did that quite early, I think.
Yeah, you guys had very different beginning routes. Mike, I think, was 40, 50 minutes in before he went adult. You went adult right off the bat. And obviously it worked out for you.
To be honest, the early adult was kind of like, I just want to get rid of this filter. Get it off the screen.
I was about to ask what the thinking was behind the early adult before ZL, but
Well, okay, the adult before ZL is something I don't do as much anymore, but it's been a while since I did, and I thought I'd just do it to kind of shake it up a little bit. The idea is you grab the egg, you do stuff as adult. Hopefully you get to hatch as adult. If not, you can just use Gans to turn it back to night and then hatch it as child.
Yeah.
And that adult, man. Okay, so I do have a question. What was MikeKatz' opening round?
You did the standard. Yeah, you did the Deku Tree, then South Hyrule to the 3-song route.
So he farmed money for Deku.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I watched like one VOD of his before all this, and that's exactly what he did. So I kind of expected that.
Because we were laughing about the kind of the current trend, I guess, the Rob Dog play as it were, of Rush Deku, and then the first thing we saw were the hover boots.
To this point, I have played 2 1v1 races, and it's one against MikeKatz here, and the other versus Rob Dog, and you can't be that predictable. You just, because like with the early adult play turning out as it did, I knew I was way ahead for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after finding things like Bomb Bag. And yeah, okay, if I get the Bomb Bag and Lon, I can do adult a little bit more efficiently, but Hammer.
Yeah, like it worked out, definitely. You got... And like the other thing that was really notable, and I think the biggest kind of difference between the way the two... I assume you're going to go back and rewatch... Because the biggest difference that we kept saying throughout was that there were so many points where Mike didn't prioritize progression, and you did. You very much, like, as soon as something was available, like...
I mean, it was rather linear, to be honest. The only thing I really did out of logic... Well, okay, DC and Forest, when I finished them, were both out of logic, but, like, it wasn't too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike, for example, he cleared out GTG before clearing out Fire Temple. So he did GTG and Spirit before Fire.
Yeah, did GTG before Spirit and that before Fire.
Yeah, no, the mirror was like, okay, this is way here. My plan before I found the mirror, I was hoping it was like Long Shot or Iron Boots, but just finding the mirror, no, I had to do Spirit first. I had to see what was on all 3 of the checks locked by mirror. None of them were keys either, which kind of surprised me at first, but yeah. I mean, only one could have been a small key, but still.
What were your thoughts when you saw that mirror shield before you went to horseback archery?
I mean, I still
gonna do horseback archery anyway. To me, it's not that hard. Please be something else on horseback archery.
I think the first comment was, "What happens if you find the boomerang on horseback archery?"
Nope. Okay, so going off boomerang there, my plan, I almost didn't do chickens before the well, but I was like, I can use the well and Pharaoh's Wind up to Jabu when I'm done. Let's do chickens first and then do Jabu, so I don't have to like leave CAC without doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I had literally everything I had at that point to full clear the rest of the game, so I meant to do it as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I think you were very slightly ahead at that point. Enough that if it had been Shadow, we were saying like that was Mike's kind of big option there, was if it ended up being in the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, he had Nocturne way before me, didn't he?
Yeah, Nocturne way before. But Din's Fire, he got, like we say, just before Spirit.
Yeah, Zeo on Saria. If he did 3-song, it's easy knock.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like we were saying, it was kind of the time difference was enough that you were very slightly ahead, kind of going in well. But if it had ended up being Shadow, that was kind of his big potential time save, because if it was Jabu, you had the Forest point there and he didn't.
Yeah. So wait, did you guess I was going to do that?
Yeah, we remembered the Forest Wind point in Fire and Jabu, and then it was like, okay, do you do well or Shadow? And as soon as you started going to Child, we were like, okay, so well, Wind to Jabu as opposed to Shadow, Wind to Fire.
Yeah. I think maybe, like, if I didn't have Pharaoh's Wind before I went up to Jabu, I was 100% doing Skull Mask. Like, Lost Wind's Way of the Hero, yeah, I found Hammer and Light Arrows there, but Skull Mask.
Yeah, makes sense. We never actually saw Skull Mask in the end. I think Mike...
No, we did see Skull Mask.
Mike did pick it up in the end, actually, yeah.
He just never checked it.
But it was late enough that you were in go mode. So
Yeah, it was garbage.
it was not the gold scale.
No, I'm telling you, the gold scale is in Steve.
Hey, Trez is here. Where is the gold scale at?
Trez is not here. He just has his computer here.
So he's asleep. Okay.
Hopefully.
Trez is where he's supposed to be.
Asleep, yes.
We're out here. You're supposed to also talk about how he should be in bed all the time.
Yeah, I went black and white again. I just saw that last second. Yeah. I just like looked over. Oh, hey, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm guessing Mike Katz is finished by now.
Yeah, Master Sword. He just lost Master Sword in the game fight.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Well, after you watch the beginning of the VOD, you can give me a thanks for not having to hunt any Skulltulas. That was my early gift to you.
Thank you.
When you
It
watch
was
the
a
VOD.
long time before I found that 30 hint too. I didn't see it till I was at Spirit Temple.
I'll just say, if you watch the VOD, turn the volume.
But like, okay, by that
You'll
point,
know what I mean.
Kind of fine. If I found something required was on 30 skulls, I have Boomerang, I have Longshot, I have Sunsong, I have all 4 bottles. It's gonna be like 5 minutes till I get that.
Yeah, fair. Oh, just offhand, I mentioned it during. I love some of the. Oh, sorry, I mentioned it on commentary during the race, but I love some of the kind of expressive plays you make. Like when you found your bomb bag, the little like shield dance before you quit.
So the one thing that I haven't heard the 2 commentators here ask about, next match thought. You have 2 possible people that are going to be who you're playing. You got DP and Cloud Ike. 5th place DP.
I don't know much about DP. I don't watch him, and I don't know much about either of them, to be honest. But hold on, what are they? I mean, yeah, I just don't know anything about either one of them. Cloud beat me in the previous weekly. I don't remember by how much, but like, I don't really have a perfect streak against him or anything, so it could go either way. If it's DP, I don't know. Like, they're seated so close together, that match could go either way.
That is true. They are technically very closely seated because of, if people haven't heard the story, we're not going to repeat it here. It is on the Ocarina of Time randomizer announcements. So,
yep, you got some time to study up though. Plenty of material up on Twitch to be checked.
I mean, I had time to study for MikeKatz, but I only got around to 1 VOD. Then yesterday happened. I gotta say, this seed is linear and is like mostly straightforward as it was until Iron Boots. It's like, it's such a refresher after yesterday.
Yeah. So that was a question we had. Do you prefer a early bottleneck or a late game item hunt?
Depends. So early bottleneck is like, okay, it's straightforward, but you really don't know which of your few items you're going to find early is going to lead to something. Late game item hunt is where it's a lot more RNG based. Yeah, you can make the mathematical play, but you can also make gambles like in a 1v1. Maybe the well isn't the best play, maybe Skull Mask is. It can literally beat anything you have in Logic.
It's all about the metagaming and mind game.
Yeah. As we saw Mike Katz there at the end, kind of checking Darunia, checking the Skull Mask before he went into the well.
I almost did like the well, and there was a point where I found a Death Mountain Crater way of the hero hint, and for some reason I thought I got Song of Storms. So I'm like, okay, save word, get the grottos, get the well, and then I remembered, oh wait, Song of Storms is on Prelude. I got my hook shot there.
Yeah, you'll be happy to know Pierre had nothing but a heartbeat.
Yeah, I figured. I knew it was not a key because I had the last one on the boss, I think. Anything else?
No, I think that's all from me at least.
Yeah, that was fun, right?
Yeah,
Hope you had fun.
it was fun. It's always nice to see the long or extended early adult payoff. I don't always do that, but it's nice when it happens.
Nice, yeah. Congrats, I guess.
GG
do
to
we
Mike
have-
Katz. Hope he tears up losers. Have fun.
Do we have a word on whether Mike Katz will be joining us?
He will
IRC,
not.
he said.
He is in a less than. Yeah, we'll just say he's just us. He is set.
Alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna head off. Let you guys in.
Cool. Congrats again.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Bye.
Anything
Alright.
you two have to sum up before I give a spiel on what's coming up tomorrow?
No.
All good.
Just thanks for having us.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. And as I was saying, tomorrow first match is 10 a.m. Eastern. That will be Juke versus Let's Play here on ZSR. And then, oh wait, there's 2 more matches in the bracket also tomorrow. Necro versus Larage at 4 p.m. Eastern, and What the Hell Has Happened versus Monstrous at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then there's a nice nightcap, which is not Ocarina of Time, a Link Between Worlds any percent. Yes, that would be a 3DS. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, on Friday. With that, thank you for joining us. Be sure to give Trez a hard time if he wakes up. And have a good night, everybody.